In the course of the third week of development, neurulation occurs. At that time, the foundation for the central nervous system is laid. The neural groove is formed, closing from the center to the sides. At the sides, small bumps called somites can be seen. The neural groove becomes the neural tube, which later forms, for example, spinal cord and brain. Those cells later become the neural networks, which enable us to think. In the fourth week of development, this process is almost complete. The embryo is still in the amnion, which is filled with amniotic fluid that has numerous functions. The optic placodes, which are the basis for the inner ear, can be seen, and the heart is already pumping blood through the intra-embryonic blood vessels. The yolk sac and the body stalk continue to nourish the embryo. The chorion is the outer membrane and is connected to the body stalk. The chorionic villi are surrounded by maternal blood. This allows them to carry nutrients to the embryo and nourish it. We'll see more on this later. During the fourth week, 3 pairs of pharyngeal arches appear. In addition, the upper limb buds are visible first, followed by the lower limb buds. The embryo is now curved in a C shape. The caudal eminence is tail-like in shape. The somites, which give rise to the cells forming the skeletal muscles and components of the skin, among other things, can still be identified. The embryo continues to grow rapidly, measuring approximately 4 to 5 millimeters by the end of the fourth week. The lens placodes and olfactory pits are formed. The later arms and hands, as well as legs and feet, can be already well identified. The hands will develop from paddles to separate fingers by the 8th week. The embryo is about 23 millimeters long by the middle of the 8th week. The legs will not lose their webbed feet until a few days after the hands. Embryogenesis turns into fetogenesis in the 9th week, and in the 3rd month, that is, from the 12th week on, the fetus already has a human-like appearance. The eyelids are closed. The skin is translucent. In the following weeks, the fetus grows and the ossification of the fetal skeleton takes place, so that the bones are clearly visible on ultrasound images by the 16th week. In addition, the body is completely covered with downy lanugo hairs, which help, among other things, to keep the vernix secreted by dedicated cells on the skin. The vernix protects the skin has already been established contact with the amniotic fluid. From about the 18th week, the mother can feel the baby's movements. In addition, the sucking reflex has already been established. By the 28th week, the hair on the head, eyebrows, and eyelashes continue to grow. In addition, the eyes open. The fetus gains a lot of mass in the last few months, and the lanugo hairs and the vernix gradually fade away. It is also slowly getting tighter and tighter in mom's belly. At first, the fetus is supplied by the body stalk and yolk sac, but then more and more by the umbilical cord and placenta. Since the fetus possesses both the DNA of the mother and of the father, the blood of the fetus must not mix with the blood of the mother. The placenta is responsible for this. It is responsible for the exchange of substances between mother and fetus. The chorionic villi, which were previously completely distributed over the chorion, have regressed to other parts of the uterus. The remaining villi are part of the placenta. Maternal blood, rich in oxygen and nutrients, enters the intervillous space via the arteries. Veins carry away the oxygen and nutrient-poor blood. The chorionic villi extract oxygen and necessary nutrients from the mother's blood. Nutrients include carbohydrates, amino acids, fats, vitamins, and iron. Oxygen and nutrients are then transported to the fetus via the veins with the help of the umbilical cord. However, waste products also reach the villi via the arteries. This allows the fetus to release its waste products, such as carbon dioxide, these substances. After about 38 weeks, the fetus is fully developed. It measures 50 centimeters and weighs around 3,000 grams. The birth takes place now or in the next 2 to 4 weeks.